fashion models, the former president of France, and those in the know, Beljanski supplements and herbal teas can work for you. Call 212-308-7066. That's 212-308-7066. Visit our center in New York City. Our website is www.maisonbeljanski.com. That's www.maisonbeljanski.com. Feel better naturally. Beljanski Formulas.
That's right. It's the morning show here on ABC News Radio, KMET 1490 AM. I'm Aaron Michael Sanchez. Good to have each and every one of you with us. It is a beautiful day in the world. What are you doing this happy extended weekend for a lot of people who, again, have time with friends or family? Are you going to do it safe? Are you going to do it fun? Are you getting ready for some fun around the corner as well? Well, I can't wait to bring on a little bit later. And the person who knows things about glamping. And what is glamping and what is it for you and your future? Is it something to do maybe the next month or two? Is it something to check out in the next year or year and a half, depending on location? There's so many cool places, including one of which I think even, Jesse, you might actually like. Glamping, is it for you, Jesse? You tell me. What do you think?
If it gets me off the ground, yes, I glamp every day of the week.
Yeah. Oh, I like that. Off the ground. That's interesting. Yeah. So we're going to be joined by a good friend, Jose Yoa, who knows a lot about everything, including glamping. And we've talked about this as of late, and I've had some interesting conversations with a couple others which said, oh, yeah, I didn't know what glamping is. Now I do. And now I'm interested. Maybe I will do it as well. So we're excited about that. Lots of things going on in the world as well, but today is a very beautiful day. Again, it's one of those days that whether you eat turkey or whether you're not, you still say, hey, are we with family members and are we going to pay attention to one another, right? Because a lot of people, unfortunately, sometimes spend this time, as I say, alone or without people. And I say, don't do it without people. Do it with someone that you love. Do it with someone that you care about, or just do it with somebody at all. Jesse, how are you going to spend the rest of your day? I know you're working here, so a lot of people, and again, we sometimes forget about those people that do work. You know, we remember Target is technically closed as of today, which you were happy about, but Black Friday, was it Target or was it? Yeah, it was Target.
It was Target.
Yeah, so, but is there anything else that you were like, excited for around the corner?
I am actually excited for one thing. So I found it obviously it's on Disney Plus, a new show that came out yesterday. Can you guess what it is?
No. I can not guess what it is, man. That's like 20 million different shows right now. I'm not gonna lie. Wait, let me think. If it's a Marvel or it's Marvel, right?
Marvel.
Okay, it's got it. Okay. Shoot, I'm trying to think what is out now. No, I have no idea. Go ahead.
So the newest Marvel show actually just started yesterday, and it's called Hawkeye.
Oh, right. I saw the advertisement for it. Is that like a series or a mini-series?
Yes, it's a series. It's 8 episodes long, and it follows Hawkeye and I guess his newest protege.
Nice. Oh, okay. So that's who she is. She's the protege. She looks like a love interest. Or is that the one that's his future wife lady, but she looks different?
No. This is like someone who's like a fan of his and wants to become the new Hawkeye and stuff. I think that's what I'm taking from it.
Oh, they're spinning off a Lady Hawkeye. Got it. Okay. All right. Well, I'm excited for that. All right. We're going to take a quick little break. When we come back, it's all about glamping. How can you look forward to the new year doing such a fun exercise, including one of them, which I'm not going to lie, it makes me kind of think of like The Hobbit meets the Fun Town. You have to see it to believe it. It's like fun in a wheelbarrow. I don't even know how to explain it, but we'll talk about that next here on the morning show right after these messages. Stay tuned.
When you want the best performance for your vehicle, think only of Scott's Headers and Mufflers in Beaumont, right off the I-10 and 60 freeways. Check out Scott's complete list of performance products on their website at hdrinfo.com. Scott's Headers and Mufflers can recommend ways for your car or truck to get better gas mileage and cut down on emissions. Need your car or truck to pass smog only? Go to Scott's Headers and Mufflers in Beaumont. Find out all of your questions on vehicle performance by logging on to hdrinfo.com. Scott's Headers and Mufflers in Beaumont. hdrinfo.com.
Are you a self-published author that maybe underestimated the challenges of marketing your own book? I'm Suzanne Lynn, and we help authors sell more books through video interviews and radio advertising. You see, a professional video interview is really an author's secret weapon for marketing because it makes an emotional connection with your reader that can be posted to social media, YouTube, your book's landing page and website, your Amazon author page, and even sent to media to request interviews. We guarantee that video interview will be viewed by a minimum of 3,000 people in your target audience. And let's face it, no one can sell your book better than you speaking about it yourself. Plus, we can run commercials on our nationwide network of radio stations that targets your specific reading audience. Find out more at GiveMyBookWings.com. That's GiveMyBookWings.com. Again, GiveMyBookWings.com.
KMET presents the Heart to Heart radio show every Thursday afternoon beginning at 4 p.m. Heart to Heart grapples with personal issues of addiction recovery, sex therapy, relationships, and trauma. With over 60 years of combined counseling experience, Dr. Mitra and Dr. Robert discuss lifestyles and treatments to help you cope and achieve the inner peace you may be seeking. The Heart to Heart radio show is here for you every Thursday afternoon beginning at 4 o'clock p.m.
Take KMET 1490 AM with you everywhere you go by downloading our free smartphone apps found on the KMET website, KMET1490am.com. You can also go to the Google Play Store or the Apple App Store on your phone to download the free app. Now you can listen live or play any of your favorite programmers' podcasts using your smartphone. Go to KMET1490am.com and download your free phone app today.
You're running out of letterhead. What do you do? Lithopass Printing. You need business cards. Now what? Lithopass Printing. Invitations to a wedding? Lithopass Printing and Banning is the answer. Lithopass Printing can provide banners, signs, and blueprints. Think of Lithopass Printing and Banning for quality graduation, birthday party, and baby shower invitations. Lithopass Printing also provides lamination, faxing, and photo prints. If you need it inked, make it Lithopass Printing. Lithopass Printing and Banning.
Welcome back. Yes, it is the morning show here on ABC News Radio, KMET 1490 AM. And what are your plans for this day and beyond? I will tell you one thing. One thing that's kind of been the talk of, at least I know in the area that have seen our segment as of a few weeks ago. Glamping, what is it? And how can you actually make use of it? We got Mr. Jose Vargas Ulloa with us. Good morning. Welcome back to the show, Jose.
Good morning. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great time to be alive, especially when you focus on some fun stuff, including glamping. And I know this conversation has kind of been taken off camera ever since your last segment. And some people said, you know what, I might even think about glamping myself. And you've got some pretty cool ideas. I know a lot of us came from the LA Auto Show with some really futuristic ideas when it comes to vehicles. But glamping also has kind of been taken to another level, especially with certain vehicles. What's going on there?
Well, let's just say it has legs of its own as of now in a lot of these big brands, particularly like the Toyota Sienna, which was featured this week at the LA Auto Show. And if you have a chance, it's still going on here in Los Angeles. But it's one of those things where you can actually have a luxury vehicle that you normally drive, and by doing something very special to that mid-size van or even a car, is adding a sports package where you can put the railings on top of the roof of a car or mid-size van and be able to, imagine this, put a two-person tent on top with a little ladder so you can enjoy the outdoors. It's no longer having to modify the inside or take it apart, because you still can use that vehicle for everyday normal use. And Toyota did a good job of showing us where it's going. And anybody can buy these sport railing, what they call tow packages, for your car or for your van. And it just, once again, makes it an exciting option for your vehicle, because, when you spend, 30,000 for a vehicle, you don't want to start modifying in different ways. But if you can add it and without damaging the car, it now becomes an experience. Because back in the day, most people thought of glamping or camping as storing stuff in the back of a truck, your trailer, a couple sleeping bags, and you're off and running to the desert or any place else. But now it's come to the point where a lot of the luxury as you drive there and are still there intact. And then again, it's an option to go to the second level, what I call the 2-story. And Toyota did a good job of showing us how it is. And I'll post some pictures if you can't see them now at this moment. But, Toyota, Subaru, and others are beginning to realize that this market is evolving for people who actually don't have the means to buy these $300,000, $100,000 vehicles that are fully equipped, whether it's a Sprinter van or a Travado, or actually a bus, a luxury bus. It's almost $1 million or more. But that's what's so exciting about the experience right now, is that it's at its burgeoning, like I say, moment where you could take advantage of these opportunities. And like I say, putting a simple sports rack where normally people would put their skis or luggage on top. Well, now they convert it into a platform that becomes your camping tent that you can glamp anywhere you want by just stopping on the road and pitching your tent on top.
Well, it's funny that you say that. I had a conversation, I think this week, about, like, where would you go? And one of the things that I thought, in certain vehicles, especially at the LA Auto Show, they make it very convenient on the inside. It's almost like if you got stuck on the road, you could sleep in your vehicle. They're that comfortable, and they got new, like, really cool devices on the inside. But being able to sleep on the top of a vehicle and like a camper, for those on the radio audience, I guess the best way is like a tent on top of your vehicle that folds out, and then there's a little ladder that goes up to it as well. And this is, an SUV type vehicle, right? But I will say, like, I think that's kind of a cool option to have at any time, because you could go and take it anywhere, right? And it's a good, safe place to be able to do it. Like, I would do the beach. I don't know what you in the social media audience would do. Maybe comment where you would spend that. But I think you also had some pretty cool ideas as far as, like, areas that are already predetermined, including one that reminds me of the movie Hobbit, but is actually in a really fun place in Mexico, right?
Well, a lot of them are, like I say, are local as well as in Mexico. Triple A just said people are not going more than 100 miles for their destination. So beaches, like you said, are the number one spot. If you drive down the coast, you don't see a lot of people on the beach, but you do see them glamping, with their tailgating on the side in the parking lot and enjoying an experience with their camper or with a car, and adding these accessories that make it convenient. But right now, a hot destination is Valle de Guadalupe in Mexico, as well as other destinations. One of them is in Jalisco, and this happens to be in the number one area of where they make tequila. And so imagine yourself in the middle of a tequila vineyard, and it's a wine barrel, and a giant-sized wine barrel where you can just enjoy the moment with all the luxuries inside. So, it's fascinating to see these types of things, these wine barrels, and enjoy the luxury. You walk outside and you're looking at this beautiful garden of agave plants, as well as being able to have bottle service directly at any moment while you're in the vineyard. So this is one of the places in Tequila, Mexico that, it just makes it really fun and interesting. It's just no longer a regimented square army military style tent. You're freezing because, like I say, all the modern conveniences are built into these places, as well as, you can have your own personal chef cook your meals while he's doing it. Also here in Southern California, the number one place to go to that most people are gravitating to is what they call Joshua Tree or Anzo Borrego. And those are places that most people would think, why? Why do I want to go to the desert? But the desert calls people for more than just hiking. And now you can spend time in the desert in these beautiful teardrop trailers. That's what they call them now. We used to know them as Airstreams. This beautiful Airstream here is fully modern equipped where you can just enjoy this nostalgic, restoration as well as a full shower and toilet and kitchen. So it's no longer having to run for ice, or, waiting for somebody to deliver something for you or you forgot it. But these are what excites me about glamping is that everything now is sort of like seamless, and we're beginning to see that more and more. And then for other people who just like to enjoy the environment, geodomes in the desert are very popular, particularly this weekend, because you can have a partial clearing geodome like this one here, and have some sort of privacy. At night, you can just draw down the curtains and just have your sense of privacy. But then there's the all-inclusive geodome, which means it's all clear. Now that's kind of bold, that's kind of brave, but it gives you that experience of being in nature. Like I say, you see the sky and you can see the animals walking around. You can hear the birds. So these types of experiences are coming more and more rewarding for people because it's, first of all, it's safe. You're away from hordes of people, and you have that sense of reconnecting to the Earth to see the Milky Way and see Venus and see Saturn and all these beautiful rocks in the sky, as I call them, as they go by at night. So glamping has come of age from the time that we used to we used to add just a trailer. Well, I would call it a trailer, but a camper, modified, very square, very rigid, to a Ford F-150 or a Chevy Silverado back in the day, and that was like glamping at its best. But we've come a long ways, and those still exist, but people like a little luxury along the way.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that because, there's a lot of really cool adventures that I think people are looking forward to, in the coming years, and especially outdoor environments, and even that, I guess the biodome that you talked about reminds me of like, an adventure like, pretend you're on Mars, right? You could do like a theme-based thing and then kind of do some cool activities for families. But it reminds me of like a biodome on Mars. But although it looks like it would be hot, it's fully air conditioned and fully taken care of. So it's got a regular like room air conditioner, so you're not going to get hot, right?
Yeah, a lot of these are meant because you think you're in a bubble, you're going to asphyxiate, but there's actually air circulating that you can cool it down with the air conditioner, or you can heat it at night. So it's pretty much well thought out. The bubble or the geodome is a global, a global symbol, as well as most Native Americans and tribes around the world use this type of format of a housing for themselves, whether it's made out of wood, or sticks or things of the sort. But this geodome has come of age, and it's actually very inexpensive to buy. And you can put it in your backyard if you wanted to, just to get away, instead of just trying to find a couple sheets and a clothesline and trying to figure out how we're going to make this happen. But this would be great if we had this as kids. This would be cool. You know what I mean?
Well, it's funny you say that. I was thinking like it's an all-in-case. I don't know how easy it is to set up because, what is that, like 15 by 15 maybe? Or it's basically...
Yeah. So it depends on how many individuals want to be participating. You can get them as big as 20 feet circular around. You can fit a bed. You can fit a table. You can fit, it's set up for, single, doubles, and family. So that's what makes it so unique, that there's nothing that you can't think of that you can put in this geodome. And then what they have in there, you have clothesline partitioners. So if your bedroom, you can separate it from the living room and put a clothesline partitioner. And it just makes sense to enjoy that. And a lot of families do that because it's big enough to have a bedroom and then cots on the side for the kids, or a sleeping area and the sleeping bags. So as you look at these geodomes, they're all rather unique. They're all rather different, and they come in different sizes. And that's what it's a practical fold up. Well, actually not fold up, but you actually take it apart. It'll take you about
collapsible,
an
right?
hour. Yeah, it's an hour to put up, and then because you're putting all this, you're connecting all these. We used to call that back in the day on many playgrounds back in the day. These didn't have the sheeting over it. We used to call them not the monkey bars. We used to call them. They were geodomes that you climb back in the day, and if you remember, the playgrounds had these type of domes where you just climbed all over them, and that was an experience in itself.
What?
But no, it's becoming affordable. That's the whole idea. Is the average person can either rent it out for a weekend or actually buy it.
Oh, yeah, well, and I love it because I always think, and I know some people don't think like this, but I will say with our, well, nation where it's at, and even around the world, there are areas where people are suffering financially, and there are, areas that you can like apportion a piece of land and say, look, stay here for your family, especially if you're finding times hard to deal with. I would imagine those things are very inexpensive in comparison to like a full house. It's obviously more than a tent. What is this, like a couple $1,000s up to like $80,000 or what?
Yeah, you can go as high. The sky's the limit. For under $1,000, you can find these small domes that are available to you, and they said they're rugged and they're pretty much basic. But when you start adding all the other accessories, it can be expensive. But you can add these things just like any other thing. When you go camping, you buy your camping stuff, and you can add these things along the way. But the what I find is that people are reconnecting and seeing the earth, from a different perspective because particularly in the cities, you never get to see the sky. You don't get to see the majesty of the stars, and then you're right there, and you see a bear walking by or deer in the morning. You see sheep, on the hill, and sort of gives you that experience that wow, that there's something beyond me that exists on this earth. And for a lot of people who have this open land, and whether you're in Big Bear, and they're setting these up in their backyard and renting them out. So that's what makes it also another type of investment for people who want to do this. You can buy these and put them on your land, whether it's on a beach property, and have it there. And Airbnb, if you look at Airbnb, it's moving more towards glamping than actually housing at hotels.
Right.
So that's what I like about this is that we're now finally reconnecting. It's not that hotels don't have the same amenities, but there's something about being in nature. We're in a river, you're seeing animals, or at the beach, or in the mountains, surrounded by a forest that gives you a sort of a sense of purpose, like, wow, a connection to this earth. And I think that's what's been missing. And particularly in this pandemic time where everybody's been depressed, it sort of energizes you. That's for me, it's one of the things that it gives you that energy. Wow.
Yeah.
I wish I could live here. But some people are even working there and saying, I don't want to go back to work. And, they're working from a geodome.
Yeah, and I love it. I think it's a great option. I really do. I think it's something that people need to look at, and even areas where they're like, what are we going to do about the housing? I say, shoot, get a piece of land, make it good, and then put these up. It's even a good transitional thing for our homeless, and I think people need to start investing and start looking at that. Okay, speaking of the LA Auto Show, you have a picture here of a particular thing that I think should be taken out into the field, and what is this that I'm looking at?
All right, show me the picture and I can tell you. Most people miss this at the LA Auto Show. This is Delzer Molinar. He's the first one to invent a actual flying plane. Okay, it is a plane because right now he couldn't put out the wings. It looks like a missile because I'm looking at it from a forward perspective, but he actually can drive this on the street, and then when he has an open patch of strip, he can actually attach the wings back on and fly away to any destination, which I thought, this is crazy. This is radical because it's an actual prototype working model. And his name is DeJure. He's one of those far forward-thinking guys. And so think of it as a motorcycle engine with an airstream airplane. And like I say, right now you can't see the wings because on the street you can't just drive down the street with the wings, fiberglass wings,
right,
blocking traffic. But yeah, it's one of those things that I'd never imagined seeing this in my life because you always dreamed about it as you were a kid, a flying car. So, he also has another one that.
And is it a single seater or a double seater? It looks like a single seater, this one.
Yeah, this one is a single seater. And so that is one of those things that, like I say, he actually built him for himself because, everything comes out of a situation and a problem. And that's what I like about America and about our country, that we're always innovative and we can look at something that's functional like a car or a van or a bus or an ice cream truck or whatever, and then glamp it all up, change it all up from the inside, and if you can't change it all from the inside, well, what can we add to it? Toyota did a great job by adding just on the sports rack a tent. Nobody would have thought of that. And until glamping came along, because everybody would pack the tent inside, and then you would have to pull all this stuff and put it around you. But now you're using the vehicle as a base platform. So yeah, a lot of thinking about outside of the box is happening now. Innovation is here. Like I said, De Jour is one of those persons that I truly admire, because this is all his thinking, and it actually works. He actually flies to areas and then just drives it into the hotel parking lot and parks it right in the parking space.
I love it. I just, and I'm sure the fasteners are like, I mean, for people going, wait, you can attach wings and detach wings. I'm sure it's like they don't just fall off in the middle of anywhere. And it's a very simple design. It reminds me of those like very, the kind that kind of, how do I describe it for the radio audience? Like the kind that kind of take off. But they're like this doesn't have the helicopter little thing, right?
Yeah,
the
it's a
little rotor at the
gyrocopter.
top.
They call them gyrocopters. They're gyrocopters.
Yeah, it's not a gyrocopter. Yeah.
This is actually a plane. You just crank it up and it flies like a plane.
Yeah.
And he invited you and me to come out to, I think they're having a jamboree in the next month or two out in the desert. And he invited us, you and me, to actually see it in flight. So, there's something about talking about it and, building somebody up. But once you see the darn thing flying, you're just like, wow, I can't imagine. And then you say, how can I do it? Because that's the next thing is that, how can I do it? Do I need a pilot's license? Because then all those other legal things come into play. But just the idea of being able to fly and to commute in Los Angeles without having to go to an airport. You have to go to Burbank, you have to go to Long Beach. You can actually land on a street and park it in your parking spot and drive it out to an open space and take off. That's how easy it is. It just boggles your mind.
It does. It does. I know you mentioned this to me, and I kept telling people at the LA Auto Show, there's a vehicle that actually like takes off in the air, and they're like, "Where is it at?" And I'm like, "Man, I want to see this." So I think it's amazing. I think it's the way to go. I don't know how far you get to go on this, but I got questions, and I think they have answers. I know we've run out of time, Jose, but I want to say thank you very much. I know you got a lot more information. How can people follow you? How can people say, hey, wait a minute, I got an idea. Can you make it happen?
Yeah, these are the things that I can say that as this information comes to me, we're pretty much putting up a glamping reporter site in the next couple of weeks. We're formalizing the website right now so that all that information is there for you to share with other people, because everybody wants to be involved in this, either from an investment point of view, from a relaxing point of view, or just it's there for the taking, and even providing products for these types of venues. So that's what makes this exciting. For the next 10 years, we're going to see innovation in a way that, people are thinking out of the box to practical things that we already have.
All right. Well, I appreciate you more than ever. Thank you very much for spending time with us at the LA Auto Show as well. I know we had a really fun day and a good couple of days. You got to see some other stuff. For anybody that's not following him, go follow him on social media. It's very simple. Your social media handle is?
One, the Latino Cyber Guy is for all the technical stuff. And I'm going to put some things up for Christmas. The Black Friday, which is no longer Black Friday, it's Black Month or whatever we want to call it, Click Friday. But there are some things that have come to my attention, and then I look forward to the Glamping Reporter, where you're going to find all these things that you can experience from Tequila, Jalisco, and to Valle Guadalupe, to Anza Borrego, as well as up north, Monterey Bay. There's a lot of things happening in California that people just might think twice about, traveling more than 200 miles when it's right here next door.
All right. I love it. I've got some ideas. I know Jesse does as well. Thank you very much for spending time with us here on The Morning Show.
Thank you, and happy Thanksgiving.
Yes, thank you. All right. We're going to take a little bit of a break here. We'll be right back with more right after these messages.
Got it. Thanks.
You've been charged with a crime, and now you're facing the loss of your freedom. Where do you turn to get out of jail or stay out of jail? The law offices of Wallen and Claridge. Call 877-4-NO-JAIL. With over 20 years experience and attorneys who work in your local courts, Wallen and Claridge can make the difference between jail and freedom. When you need help, make one call. Make it to Wallen and Claridge. 877-4-NO-JAIL. The call is free. Will you be?
Hello, listeners. Christopher here from The Christopher Show. Hey, I want to talk to you a little bit about CBD. Now, CBD is not approved by the FDA as of yet. Myself, as well as millions of other people across the USA, have used it with help for pain, anxiety, sleep, and other conditions. Now, you know, all CBD products are not equal. It really matters on where you get the CBD from. Now, I suggest you get it from a qualified pharmacist, and I happen to know of one. It's at Your Pharmacy and Mobility Solutions in Beaumont, California. They only carry pharmaceutical-grade CBD products of the highest quality. So if you want the best, you go to Your Pharmacy and Mobility Solutions. Their staff is there to help you with all your CBD, pharmacy, and mobility needs. They're located at 1680 East 6th Street in Beaumont, California. Give them a call, 951-845-8252. Once again, it's Your Pharmacy, Mobility Solutions in Beaumont, 951-845-8252. Once again, it's Your Pharmacy and Mobility Solutions in Beaumont, California, 951-845-8252.
Tried shipping a package lately? It's amazing how difficult and time-consuming it can be. Packing, envelopes, boxes, second-day ground, next-day air, it's all enough to give you a headache. Next time, do yourself a favor, go with the pros at the UPS store in Beaumont. They'll pack it right and let you know all your shipping options. You can also take care of everyday tasks like copies, faxing, notary services, and live scan fingerprinting. And while you're there, pay your Edison, gas company, and Verizon bills. Open extended hours Monday through Saturday. The UPS store in Beaumont, located in the Oak Valley Plaza at 1440 Beaumont Avenue. Call 951-769-5956. That's 951-769-5956. Online at the upsstorelocal.com/5027 or Google 5027.
Totally Nutcrackers world premiere will be presented by Victory Arts Sunday, December 12th at 4 p.m. Enjoy the holiday classic with a twist, featuring the San Diego Ballet and dazzling local dancers of all ages. An Everyone Can Love It version with a special musical score. Join us at the Chula Vista Memorial Outdoor Bowl where lively fun and zaniness abounds. Info at victoryarts.us.
Welcome back. Yes, it is the morning show here on ABC News Radio, KMET 1490 AM, where we appreciate each and every one of you. Jesse Sanchez got stuff in his ear, lots of interesting news. What's going on over there, Jesse?
No, I love that flying car thing.
Isn't it cool?
It is cool, but I'm also so afraid of it.
Yeah. Well, and why do you say that?
I don't trust people. Come on. People are going to be drinking and flying. I don't need them crashing into each other, falling down.
Well, it makes me wonder, as far as because it is a road vehicle, right? And it's like it looks like a single seater, right? I mean, you could take it on the road. That's number one that I think is kind of cool, right? But I wonder at what point, and how much space you need for it to take off, right? As a runway, how fast does it go till it actually takes off? And then when I trust myself in the air, once I am in the air, so I think there's obviously it's now the AMV, the airplane motor vehicles, right? You need to, because it's kind of like a cross between it, and I would imagine you need a pilot's license for this thing, but it looks very simple to operate. So I'm almost I'm willing to try it at least. I don't know how high it will. I wonder what the limits are as far as height. You know what I mean? But I got questions and need answers.
That is true. I'm thinking that too. It probably won't work in major cities because of just the sheer number of people. And but yeah, no, I'm curious on how this will play out. It seems cool, and I love the idea of it. But are we there yet? I don't know.
I think we should be. I mean, we've got the hovercraft ability of certain vehicles, which we've seen some, right? We've seen guys even in the air with like little attachments to their feet or jet pack stuff that allows them to hover. I think we're there. I think I'm not there to have like a lot of people up in the air all of a sudden, just out of nowhere. That's number one, you know. But I feel as though it needs to happen at least in certain areas. Like if I were like up north and I wanted to go from one place to another and I had a certain amount of fuel, I think I'd be okay with it. I don't know that I'm ready to do like cartwheels and or big spins. I've done that over the Pacific Ocean with an individual, which actually was in those air shows where they do competitive flight, where they kind of do all those like somersaults and wheelbarrows and literally like nose dives and then pulls up. I've done that, and I threw up my lunch literally. Like I was like, oh god. And I have video of that actually, which is on YouTube somewhere. I haven't really pushed it out there. And then they had like a 360 internal to show all my reactions. But it was a fun experience. I will not lie. But having a vehicle that can go from a vehicle to an airplane mode like that is pretty cool. And even if it doesn't like motor out, the fact that you can attach them in the middle of it, I would imagine is something worth checking out. So I'm willing, if they're wanting to show us kind of a front row seat situation. I'm just not 100% that I want to go up in the air. I think I would watch it from afar, and then I'd say, okay, is there a weight requirement? Is there because it looks very not big. You know what I mean? It looks lightweight. Maybe it goes further. Does it operate on gas? What are the requirements on this? Because I see so many movies where the plane crashes and now you're left stranded. So I'm always that guy. I think of like Aviator. If you saw Aviator, there's a couple of movies. There's one with Christopher Reeve. And then there's, of course, about Howard Hughes. And everybody's like, you got to be ready. Is there a parachute option? Is there like an eject button? Like, I got these questions. Just worst case scenario. Like, I feel like you're thinking, right? Because sometimes we have these planes fall out of nowhere, right? As of late in certain cities, even here in LA. So I got questions that need to be answered. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. What about you, Jesse?
Yeah, I want do the wings extend automatically, or do you got to get out and attach them?
Yeah, as far as I understand, because it's like a road vehicle, it sounds like you attach them on these ones. He said there's a couple. I didn't get a chance to really have that kind of understood. So I don't know if there's one like that. There's a motor and then they come out. But I would imagine if you're on the road, you don't want them to come out by accident, right? So you're like, But I can see that option as okay, make sure it's clear. But I can see that guy getting drunk, like, oh, what's this button, dude? And then they come out, oh, I just crunched your vehicle. So sorry, right? So there's so many weird stories of people that were like, I mean, come on. The Tesla auto driving vehicle, right, is how many people on that go, yeah, I can sleep now. And no, it's self-assisted. Don't do that. I had a conversation with a very interesting engineer that actually helps teach people. And I posted it actually yesterday. It's still on my Instagram. Go check it out. It looks like the Batmobile, okay, of the future. And it's pretty amazing. I got to get a sideways view. But this is, again, big shout out to the Pasadena. Hold on. Let me go to them because I know I tagged them in the story. And one of the students actually took the picture. And I was like, thank you so much. And, I think it got taken down. Oh, man. But it was from the Art Center. Art Center Educational School System is pretty awesome. Maybe I'll put it back up with a sideways view. And so go check them out on Instagram, okay? Art Center EDU. It's the Art Center College of Design. And they have it here in Pasadena, one of the planet's foremost institutions of higher learning, offering degrees in art, design, and visual culture. And they do some pretty cool vehicles too as well. Let me see if I can bring it up here. And people don't think about design in this way. I'm not going to lie, I've never really kind of discovered the fact that it's pretty cool when you understand you could do these things really, really simply, right? And so I will say, for the Art Center, we were talking to one of the professors, And I was like, okay, there's certain things I don't think about as to requirements of certain vehicles. That even here at the Hispanic Motor Press, we actually made an announcement at the LA Auto Show about a scholarship amount that we gave one who actually is studying in this. But there's a lot of thought that goes into the design of these. And then you got the mechanics of it, you got the engineering of it, what can be done, what cannot be done. And I think, I want to give a plug to this place because they gave me some ideas that I was like, oh, that's interesting. I never thought of that. And so, Jesse, if you want to follow them, do so. It's again, ED right here, Art Center EDU. You can look for the official blue tag. And if you look at that, I mean, they work with NASA. They've got, of course, amazing vehicles. They got the design in between, and then you've got people going and pretty much doing all kinds of different things. Of course, they've got architect. They've got airplanes. They got aeronautical. I mean, this one looks pretty amazing. I didn't even know this was a thing, and you can see it there. That looks amazing. It's a sneak peek of the latest Dot magazine with work by Sang Wong Lee wrapping around the front and back. I will say this. There are so many smart people there that I met one of them, but I mean, look how cool that is. I like it's a drone vehicle with like a droid situation, which just looks pretty amazing. Like, I kind of want one. And
Is that a plane?
I believe
No, it does. To be honest, it reminds me of a movie called Stealth. I think it came out like 10, 15 years back. And it was the plane looks similar to this, the way it opens up in the front and the AI comes out. So it looks interesting.
So, you can follow me and you can follow all the great content that we share on Instagram. You can follow me at Aaron M. Sanchez. And I will say, let me see if I can bring this up. Yeah, it won't let me bring up the story. Darn it. But go check out the LA Auto Show as well on social media, and you can actually get prepared for all the cool stuff and all the vehicles. You go check it out. They have like rides. You can like track area where you can go uphill, downhill, and check out some of these really cool vehicles. They have like a speedster one where you go down in the middle of the LA Auto Show. Again, back to glamping. They have like vehicles that have glamper devices. This is what I'm talking about right here. It's with the Bronco. The latest Bronco looks really cool, and you actually have a little outside course. If you go even by the LA Auto Show, which again is next to the previously known as Staples Center, or what is it called? Crypto something something something.
I will not call it that. It's called the Crypto.com Arena, but I will not call it that.
Yeah,
if
well,
we're Staples Center.
All right, so there you go. So go check out the LA Auto Show. It's whatever you do. We'll be back tomorrow, same place, same channel. Bye bye.